Okay, take 3. What does that mean? Well, if you've not been to Grace before, welcome. I hope you feel welcomed. But we have this little thing called Take 3. And what it means is we ask you to come 3 times to Grace. Come check us out. Because you know what? You may have come today and you may not like me. And that's okay. And you might really like Amanda, and she might be on next week. And so you go, you know what? I really like this church. And that's okay. So we just do Take 3. We ask you to come along. It gives us a chance to get to know you. Sometimes, people have to dash in and dash out. It just gives us a chance to connect with you, which I've left my card down on my seat. I'm really good at this, aren't I? That's 2 for 2. So yeah, we just ask that you would take 3 with us. And look, if this is where God's called you, if this is the house that God's called you to, then welcome. And if not, there are great churches in Port Macquarie that He'll give you a home in. So thank you. We've got this little card here. So if you have been with us for a while and you think, you know what, I'd really like to get involved, I'd really like to do something, I just want to be part of the body, then please grab one of these. You can put your name and details on there. I know that Callista would be very appreciative if you write clearly on this card, and then we'll be able to get in contact with you. And on the back as well, it sort of says some things. You may need some help or you may want to help, but there's a couple of things that you can tick boxes here. If you're like me and absolutely atrocious at filling out forms, then come and speak to someone. Please don't leave and think, oh, I don't want to fill out that form. Come and speak to someone and someone else will fill it out for you. So it's all good. Kingdom kids, you may have noticed that there's no kids in here because they are all out the back enjoying having their own service, worshiping God, learning about God. So we just ask that because we go on to 2 services by 20 past 10, if you can pick up your children, please. Oh yes. This Tuesday, it's so cool. I don't know if we've got a flyer for it. We do. Discipleship workshop. So we as a life group have decided we're not doing life group this week. We're going to this. And it's basically a workshop. It's being run by Ross Nancaro, who heads up an amazing ministry into Nepal, he says all the time. So I must get into Nepal. And he heads up an amazing ministry over there. They've founded hundreds of churches. And so we get the privilege, because Ross is part of our body, we get the privilege of hearing some of that sort of, we get the privilege of hearing some of the wisdom that he has brought, discipling all of those amazing people. And that discipleship and that teaching is going to be imparted to us. And Greg and David are also part of it. So please make an effort to come along. It's only for a couple of hours, and it's all part of what God's doing in Grace at the moment. We don't just put these things on because they sound like a good idea, but God has really laid on our hearts about being a disciple and making a disciple. And quite often, as Greg sent it in his little email during the week, we can become a convert of the church, but not a disciple of Christ. We can lead someone into the doors, but not lead them to the real reason. So I really encourage you, come along this Tuesday and let's hear what God has to say on the topic of discipleship and how we can. I don't believe that anyone, no matter how long you've been a Christian, won't learn something. There's always something that God will just take a nugget and he'll shine it and he'll bring it to the fore in your life. So.